welcome to this Yin Yang Movement class. So today we'll start with a sitting grounding meditation. We're going to do a combination of things today. We're going to move our bodies, strengthen our bodies, really challenge and up-level the cardiorespiratory system. And then we're going to transition into Yin Yoga. So really allowing ourselves to receive the deep benefits of a Yin practice, of a restful practice, and we'll finish with meditation. My name is Brittany Cano of Faithful Fitness by Brittany and Holistic Nurse Coaches. I guide the overstressed, overextended woman who's been taking care of everyone and everything except herself. Really come back to herself and improve her physical, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being, and also improve your energy so that you have more energy to do what you love in life. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. You can join me if you'd like to. Go ahead and close your eyes down. Maybe take a full exhale and start to lengthen your spine. So imagine stacking the vertebrae, starting all the way down at the hips, really feeling yourself rooted to the earth. And then imagine one vertebrae at a time, lengthening the spine. And you might notice if you have a tendency to lean forward or kind of slouch back. And if you're able to, just imagine kind of zipping up the core. Bring a slight tuck of the chin. And allowing yourself to come more fully into the present. For the next little bit, I want to invite you to leave anything that's not serving your highest good. Just imagine putting it aside for now. And you're taking this time for yourself. So start to bring your attention into your nose. On that inhale, let the belly rise. And on the exhale, let the belly fall. Starting to just bring your awareness to your breath. See if you can relax those shoulders a little bit more. Soften the jaw. Start to come in tune with your breath. Starting to bring your awareness to your senses. Noticing anything that you hear. Maybe you hear things close by, and perhaps you hear things in the distance. Noticing anything that you feel. What do you feel physically? Do you feel yourself connected with the earth, the clothing on your skin, the temperature of the room? And then checking your body. How do you feel in your body this morning? How are you feeling emotionally? How do you feel mentally? How do you feel spiritually? And then moving on to the other senses. Anything you smell, anything you taste, and even if you have your eyes closed, anything that you see. And in today's practice, an invitation to practice from that place of self-compassion. So being toward yourself, how you would be to somebody who is so precious and so dear to you. Practicing non-judgment, and if you're judging, letting that go and not getting caught up in judging the judging. Being kind and loving. Maybe even curious. Maybe this is your first time joining us. And now start to bring your awareness to your intention. This intention could be what you want to create with your practice today. This intention may also be one that you're creating for your day, for your week, or for your life. Sometimes it's a word, and sometimes it's an image or just a feeling. So connecting with your intention. And then once you have that intention, taking a nice, full, expansive inhale through the nose and adding a pause at the top of that inhale. And when you're ready, fully exhaling, sending that intention out into the world. You can go ahead and slightly tuck your chin. Slowly open your eyes. And go ahead and lift your head back up. We'll start with some gentle movement, starting with some nice, slow neck rolls. Nice and easy, nothing too strenuous. Starting to bring that movement back into the body. And then go ahead and change directions, other way. And come back to center with your neck. If your legs are crossed, we're going to change how we have them crossed. We're going to bring the front leg behind. Again, sit up nice and tall. I'm going to come down off of my bolster here. All right. And we're going to inhale those arms up. And exhale them back out to the side. Inhale those arms up. And then bring your right hand down to the earth and up and over, keeping your sits bones connected. Maybe you look up towards your elbow, maybe not. And exhale, back to center. Same thing, other side. And over, breathing in. And breathing out. Inhale. And exhale back to center. This time we're going to forward fold, drop those shoulders down. Take a full inhale, perhaps looking up. Exhale, forward fold. Walk those hands on over to the right. Relax the back of your neck, back to the middle. And over to the other side. Back to the center. And then we're going to slowly roll it on up. We're going to inhale those arms back up overhead. Inhale. Bring the left hand to the right leg. And a little spinal twist here. Sit up nice and tall. Lengthening the spine. Where you look over the shoulder, breathe into that belly. Woo, feels good. And back to the center. Same thing, opposite side. And don't worry if you're doing opposite sides to me. If we have two sides, we'll do both sides. So whatever's, just remember which side you did. Full breath. And back to the center. One more. Raise those arms up. And bring them on down. We're going to make our way over to all fours now. So swing those legs around. Come up onto all fours. We're going to do a little bit of wrist rolls here. So wrist roll, other direction. Float that arm down. You're going to notice that we're going to start to pick up the pace a little bit. Other way. Remember I said we're gonna focus on some strength training. We're gonna do the same thing. Roll the ankle out. Other direction. So we're gonna strength train. We're gonna challenge ourselves. Ooh, other direction. And then we're going to end up cooling down, calming down, welcoming in that breath. Go ahead, curl those toes under. Engage those fingertips. We're gonna come into a downward facing dog, so your hips are gonna come up. You keep your legs as bent as much as you need to. Drop those shoulders away from the ears. Like I said, engage those fingers. That'll help offload the wrist. Start to bring those hips on up. Drop the head through. Maybe pedal out the heels. And come back to the center. Find some stillness, breathe into those lungs. Anytime you need to, walk those hands in, come to a standing position. When you're ready, slowly start to walk those hands in. Hang here for a moment if it feels good in your body. And then slowly start to roll it on up. Take your time here. We were sitting for a while. Awesome, and then look on up. All right, let's just bring a little bit of movement into the body here this morning. We're gonna start with kind of shaking those wrists out side to side. These shaking movements have a lot of benefits. Sometimes we might not want to do that. I'm like, how do I look? But then I think you get to a certain point in life and you're like, I don't really care. If I like it, if it feels good, who cares? Then we're gonna bring those wrists up and down. We're gonna do a little bit of Qigong this morning. So go ahead and just tap on these meridian points in your chest here. This really, tapping is amazing. I absolutely love tapping. Has benefits like lowering the cortisol, which is one of the stress hormones that we don't always want to be elevated, but with our lifestyle can happen. It helps sync the body and the mind. Welcome in the emotions. All right, go ahead and slow that down a little bit. And then let those arms fall down. Take a moment to arrive into the standing position. You might even close your eyes, place your palms forward. Stand up nice and tall. See if you can tuck those hips under a little bit. And imagine zipping up through the thighs, zipping up just slightly the front of the core. No need to really tighten up that core, just a little. Pull those shoulder blades back. If you notice your chin up, drop your chin down. And just really own this moment. Like, yes, I am really here. Back to your breath and back to your intention. And if your eyes are closed, you can slowly open your eyes. Very good. All right, we're going to bring those arms out to like a horseshoe kind of thing. And we're going to just bring the knee up, alternating again. We have more than likely 2 legs. So we're not going to worry too much which one you're doing. I'm just coming forward to see if anybody has any questions or anything. Hopefully you're joining me with some movement though. I hope you can hear me this morning. So the next thing we're going to transition into is going to be a set of squats. If your knees bother you, you're going to stay with this movement here, but you're going to do 10 knee lifts on each side. Okay? Or if your knees are or hips are kind of bothering you, but not too much, but your form is not great with squats, I would say use a chair. And try to line up the ankle and the knee. All right, shake that out. Here we go. We're coming into our first set of squats. My feet are a little bit wider than hip distance. My weight is going to go back as though I'm sitting in a chair. I'm going to squat back and stand it up. You can always add weights into what we're doing today. I just don't have any with me right now. So you want to think about engaging just a little bit, that pelvic floor. When you squat down, kind of pulling that up slightly, right? We're body weight squatting here. We're going to do 4 more. We're going to hold this at the bottom. 4, 3, notice your knees if they're rolling in towards each other. 2, and 1, little hold. Notice your breathing, your breath might already be increased a little bit. That's good. Option here, little pulses. Chest up. Notice if your knees are way over those toes. If so, try to set those hips back a little bit more. 4, 3, 2, we're going back into a pause. And 1, and hold. Slowly come out of it. Very good. We're going to go into another set of squats. Heels together, toes out. We're going to pulse, pulse, rise up. Make sure you really anchored in through your pinky toe and your big toe and the outsides of the feet, and you push those knees back and really squeeze the glutes at the top. We're going to bring the arms forward on this one. So pulse, pulse, stand it up. Pulse, pulse, stand it up. Good. Squeeze those glutes. If you don't feel your muscles working today, drop a little lower. Look straight ahead. Good. 4 more. We'll add an extra pulse. 2 more. 1 more. Very good. All right, we're going to come to the back of our mat. We're going to walk on out into plank. Option to drop to your knees and plank hold. I'll show you when we get there. Inhale those arms up. Exhale them back to the side. We're going to forward fold. And go ahead, walk it out into plank or drop onto your knees. We're going to come into a plank hold. Option to do this from your knees if you need to. Starting to stay in tune with your breath. If you need to, you can drop to your forearms. Fifteen more seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on down to your knees. Bring your big toes together. Knees wide. Sit on back into child's pose. Drop your head down. Couple mindful breaths here. And then make your way back up into plank. We're going to bring opposite knee towards elbow for 16. Here we go. That's only 8 each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Halfway. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, drop to those knees. Now we're going to tuck the chin around the back. And exhale, drop the belly forward, open up through the heart, open up through the back. Imagine you're touching the back of your head to your tailbone. And go ahead and come back to neutral. We're going to do bird dog here with some pulses. So bringing your right arm forward, left leg back, option to stay here. Or you can start to add some lift. Option to stay here. Otherwise, pulse through that thumb and pulse through that heel. Stay with your breath. See if you can add a pause, lengthen each way, and lift. And bring it on down. Same thing, other side. And pulse. Find that stillness. Lengthen and lift. And bring it on down. Very good. We're going to make some hip circles each direction one time. Dropping the hips back, to the side, to the front, to the other side, and around. And then change directions, other way. Very good. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and come on down to our backs. We'll be slowing things down soon. We're going to come into a set of bridges. These are really good for the back side. Option to use those arms and bring the arms overhead. So I'm going to start with my hands here, plugging my shoulder blades into the mat. Weight is in the heels. I can pretty much touch my heels, but sometimes that can be a little intense, so you might want to walk them out a little bit. But I'm focusing on targeting my weight through the heels because I'm going to really engage the hamstrings and the glutes. I'm going to slightly engage the core. I'm also going to engage those shoulders a little bit and a little bit the lats. So I'm going to lift up. I'm going to bring those arms overhead. I'm going to lower down and bring the arms back up. So just this motion here to start with. See if you can lift those hips just a little bit higher. And think about bringing those knees just ever so slightly in towards each other. Very good. 8 more. And then we're going to add a hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, really push through those heels, lift those hips. 4, stay with your breath. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and lift those hips up. Bring those arms overhead, but don't let the hands touch the ground. Lift and hold. We're just going to move the arms. All right. Nice and controlled. Arms are nice and straight. Lift those hips a little bit more. Awesome. Very good. 2 more. 2 and 1, and lower back down. Stretch out nice and tall. Reach through those fingers and toes. All right, bring those elbows out wide. Open up the chest. If you're feeling your lower back, bring your feet back flat. Tuck your tailbone under just a little bit. Very good. And then go ahead, relax those arms. Walk your feet out a little bit wider than the mat. Now you want your feet flat on the mat. And we're going to windshield wiper those legs. Drop one knee in, one knee out. Side to side, kind of like windshield wipers. And I wanted to invite you to really think about starting to slow down now. Starting to tune in to yourself. And then go ahead and come on back to center. Walk those feet closer in. We're going to hug the right knee into the chest. Roll the ankle. And other direction. And then go ahead and straighten that leg up towards the sky. We're going to point and flex here. Notice if you're holding any tension in your face or your neck or shoulders. See if you can breathe into that and soften. And relax that foot. Maybe pull that leg in a little bit further for a deeper stretch. Full inhale and exhale. And lower back down. Hug the other leg into the chest. You can always leave the opposite leg straight. Little ankle rolls. And change directions. And relax that foot. Lengthen your left leg up towards the sky. Point and flex. And then relax the foot. Maybe you hug that knee in a little bit more. Hug the leg in. Deepen the stretch or not. And then go ahead, bring that leg back down. We're going to hug both knees into the chest. Create a little compression between the belly and the upper thighs. Maybe rock side to side. And then come back to the middle. 3 big belly breaths. Pushing the belly out on the inhale. Letting the belly fall on the exhale. Completely emptying the lungs. And then 1 foot at a time, place your feet back to the earth. So now we're going to transition into the yin. If you have a pillow or a bolster prop, that can be really helpful. So in yin, we're going to hold these poses longer. Today we're going to have 4, including savasana. And in savasana, we'll do a meditation. And we're going to hold these today for around 2 minutes for 2 of them and around 4 minutes for another one. So the idea is to find that slight edge. So it doesn't need to be a strenuous or intense stretch. In fact, we want our muscles to relax more, and we really want a release of the fascia, the connective tissue. So I'll walk you through it when we go through, when we get started. Like I said, props can be really supportive. Think about going to about 50, 60%. And then the first little bit, get settled in and then try to find your stillness. This is more of an allowing, a more surrender, a more restful kind of yoga. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some affirmations. And so for the affirmations, you may repeat these to yourself or maybe just listen to me. They can be really insightful. So with the affirmations, you may notice, yeah, I'm digging that. And you may also start to think, no, I do not align with what she says. So it's information. You can't do it wrong. So let's go ahead and make our way back down to the mat. We're going to bring our feet and knees together. Go ahead and tuck that pelvis under a little bit so your lower back is completely flat on the mat. And then move your hips over just a little bit to the right. And we're going to let our legs fall over to the left. Don't worry if your knees are lined up. Sometimes it's nice to stretch out that top leg. But you're going to have a twist here. So sometimes it'd be nice to have like a pillow under the leg or a pillow behind the back. So like I said, the first little bit we're going to get situated. You want to see if you can mostly have your shoulders on the mat. We'll be here for a couple minutes. So the first 30 seconds to a minute, just see what's going to work for you. Finding that pose that you can stay in with some stillness.
So once you've started to settle in, begin to come back to your breath. Making any other adjustments you need to, settling into the stillness. And notice if you're holding on somewhere, if you're engaging the muscle, if you're doing. And see if you can soften into that and let go of some of the doing here. And just let your body be here. And the affirmation here is abundance flows to and from me with joy and ease. Abundance flows to and from me with joy and ease. You might lean those arms out to the side or bring them overhead. Or place a hand on the heart and a hand on the belly. Staying here for about another minute. Abundance flows to and from me with joy and ease. Coming back to your breath, noticing your inhale and your exhale. You have that top leg extended. Slowly start to bend it back to meet the other leg. We're going to move very slowly now, giving yourself permission to take your time. Coming back to the center. And you're going to add a pause. And just notice. And then we'll go ahead, we'll do the same thing other side. Bringing the feet and legs together, shifting the hips over to the left, letting the legs fall over to the right. Perhaps you extend that top leg out. Trying to let those shoulders stay on the mat. Taking the first little bit to find what's going to work for you. Finding that slight edge. Staying connected with your breath. And the affirmation here is, I am grateful. I am grateful. And maybe you even feel into what you're feeling grateful for. Who you're feeling grateful for. Is there a resistance here? Can you breathe into it? Just be with it from that place of compassion. noticing your inhale and your full expansive exhale. Slowly bringing that top leg back in if it was straight. Coming back to the center. Adding a pause again. We're going to come into butterfly pose. This can be nice if you do have blocks or bolsters to put on the outsides of your knees to support. I'm going to put my feet up on the bolster. You can see how it feels. The soles of the feet will be together. Maybe you have your feet further away from the body, or maybe you have them closer. It's nice to have a bolster here. It can be nice, or a pillow, or your yoga blocks to help, this can be a pretty intense stretch. So just see if you can settle in here. Of course, you can do it without any of that, or you can do one at a time. Tell you when we're about halfway, and then you can switch and do the other side. So honoring whatever works for your body. You can also hug those knees into the chest if this isn't available for you. So I'm going to invite you to place your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your belly. And start to arrive here. And just connect with your breath. And the affirmation here is I listen to the wisdom of my heart. I listen to the wisdom of my heart. So maybe noticing, what does your heart have to say? We're about halfway. I listen to the wisdom of my heart. Really being with this next breath cycle. And then placing your hands one at a time to the outsides of those thighs. And then slowly helping them come back to the center. And then when you're ready, you can find yourself in Savasana or seated meditation. If you're in Savasana, you can stretch those legs out, let the feet fall out to the side, let your arms rest beside you, drop those shoulders down and away from the ears.
come into seated meditation. So wherever you are, allowing yourself to feel the support of the earth beneath you. Whenever I do this, I really just like to affirm that I am supported, I am safe. Sometimes the mind tells us otherwise. So see if you can soften, surrender a little more fully in to the surface beneath you. Might even take a moment to give gratitude for Mother Earth, gratitude for this day. And taking a moment to acknowledge it yourself, acknowledging yourself for showing up in life, for your practice here today, and anything else you'd like to acknowledge yourself for. And then go ahead and relax those eyelids a little bit more. Let your eyes become heavy. There's nothing you need to see right now. Let the muscles of your face relax. Let your jaw soften. On the next inhale and exhale, maybe you breathe out through your mouth with a sigh and move your jaw a little back and forth just to relax even more deeply. Relaxing your neck, your shoulders, all the way down into your arms, into your fingers, into the palms of your hands. You might even imagine you're holding little or large energy balls filled with peace, filled with deep rest and relaxation, ease and flow. Relaxing your entire backside, upper, middle, lower back, down into the hips. Softening the chest, the belly, all the way down your legs, to your ankles, to the soles of your feet, to your toes. And now as you notice your breath, a wave of peace and ease washes over you. On the inhale, this peace washes over you from the crown of your head all the way down through the soles of your feet. And on the exhale, washes back over you, bringing a sense of ease and flow. Breathing in peace, breathing out ease and flow. Inhale peace. Exhale, ease and flow. Taking a few more breaths in this way, feeling yourself, feeling more and more calm, more and more centered, more and more focused. As you breathe in peace and breathe out ease and flow. And you start to bring your awareness back to your heart, back to your core, back to your intuition, back to your sense of safety, your sense of creativity, your sense of pleasure, your sense of connection to the divine. And you come back to your intention,
You start to bring a little movement into the body, and every time you do, it calls in the perfect amount of energy, the perfect amount of focus, the perfect amount of ease and flow for you to have the most beautiful, amazing day ever. And when you're ready, you might stretch out nice and tall again, lengthening the spine. And then rolling over to one side when you're ready. Thank you for practicing with me today. Hope you have a beautiful day. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.